You're listening to That's Basically the 80s. Here are your hosts, Chris and Corey.
Trick or treat, Corey.
Ding dong.
Who's there?
That's basically the 80s.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our special Halloween episode of our favorite movie.
Fucking Halloween.
That's right.
This is the very first Halloween episode we've ever done.
This is true, and it's the first time that we've done a 70s movie also,
Yep.
outside of our normal 80s genre.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm pretty excited about this.
Yeah, me too.
We watched this
Fucking
movie
love
last
this movie.
night. Yeah.
I'm gonna go buy a piano now. Ding 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 ding.
Yeah, for sure. We were talking about that last night. I think that one of the main reasons why I love Michael Myers and Halloween is that music is just, it's so simple. It's like two notes and then just an extra third dong, but it's exactly what you need to be scary.
It's pretty cool, yeah. And as soon as they hit like that deeper note, then they change the tone. They kind of go up like one, or they go down one, like
an
octave or whatever, yeah. But I think that, like, I always imagine like they were just calling. They got everybody like, "Hey, director of photography, you all ready?" and everything. And then they're like, "Hey, John Carpenter, do you got a song ready?" And he's like, "Yep, I sure fucking do." And they're like, "All right, John, thanks."
He's like, "I wrote it in 2 minutes because it's only two notes."
Yeah, but it's good.
Yeah,
he's
really
like,
good.
He's like, "You're gonna fucking love it."
And every time there's Michael Myers or the Boogeyman, there's that song.
Right.
What if that was the way that the world was? Like,
Every time you heard that
better,
song,
how much better would the world be?
there'd be a villain.
No.
Oh.
Well, maybe not. Yeah, I mean, if you heard that song, you knew some shit was going down. But what if there was, like, theme music just, like, playing in the world like there are in movies?
Right. That'd be cool.
You know, like we talked about before, is like that fucking, what's her name? Linda Barrett? Like, the epic music.
Yeah.
Like, every time you got out of a pool, it was, like, just some badass song. Or every time that you were walking down a...
Yeah, like you had theme music. So you're like walking down the street and then, or like you, like this girl calls you up. It's like Charlene, and all of a sudden, like your theme music's like, "Feel like making dun dun," and you're like, "God damn, I'm about to get late tonight." But then, like, you like walk past this girl, and then that song that's like, "Eeny weeny teeny little short dick," and it'd be like, "Bullshit! You don't even know, you fucking liar! I heard that song."
That's right. All of the
Theme
music
song.
in the world just exposes what's happening. Excuse me, what's happening or what's about to happen. Or I think it'd be awesome.
You're just like,
So you're saying, like, if you walked into a room, like every time you come into a room, there's an entrance song or whatever.
yeah, your theme music.
So, yeah, mine probably. I would hope that it would be something badass. But to be honest with you, well, this song still is badass. But it probably would be mine to be like something like Another One Bites the Dust or something, because I'm always tripping over shit or fucking hurting myself, you know?
It'd probably be like that. No, yours would be like a badass AC/DC song, like Back in Black or something.
Be like, they're playing Back in Black, but he has a green shirt on. It makes no sense.
Ooh, mine would be Fine from Aerosmith.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's a song there.
That's a good-ass song.
I like it. Actually, mine would probably be maybe something more mellow. No, I think something by AC/DC probably.
Something badass. Dude, this is the hill I'm prepared to die on. Pump is Aerosmith's best album.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's really good. I don't know if it's their best album.
Right? It's like a hot take.
Well, yeah, because see, Aerosmith goes in like sections. Like you got like the first 4 albums from Aerosmith, and then they've got a couple albums where they weren't as good. They had a couple of good songs, but they weren't that good because they were all fucking way drugged out. Then you've got like the late 80s section, and they're almost like a completely different band.
Yep.
And then you've got the late 90s.
And they're even different again.
It's almost like there's 3 different Aerosmith bands. So I could pick probably my favorite album
out of
from each one,
genre. I think my favorite story about Aerosmith is where there's a story that like Steven Tyler heard an Aerosmith song on the radio, and then he like called up Joe Perry and he's like, "This song fucking is awesome. We should remake it." And they're like, "That's our song."
That's how jacked up they were.
Like that's how bad they were on drugs. Like he heard, like Steven Tyler heard his own song on the radio and thought it was awesome and wanted to remake the song, and it was his own song.
Well, at least he knows good music when he hears it. So
that's awesome.
So yeah, that's theme songs.
Yeah. All right. So Michael Myers.
Couple things about this movie that I noticed right off the bat is I don't even know that I consider this movie a slasher movie. Do you?
I mean, he slashes a couple times.
I mean, he does, but if you look a little bit farther in the future, like you look at the Freddy Kruegers and Jason Voorhees and stuff like that, this one came out late 70s,
Yep.
what, 77, 78, something like that.
Something like that.
And he kills people. Like he stabs a guy and pins him to the wall.
Yep.
He stabs his older sister. And, I mean, he does kill a couple people, but it's not overly gross, the killings. And the whole movie is more intense, like suspense to me,
it's like
rather
a
than like
suspenseful
gross
horror.
slasher running around, you know? That's just kind of my take on it. But it, like I said, it is kind of earlier.
Because how many people does he kill? He gets his sister with the clown mask,
Right?
and then later he kills
Annie.
right?
Yep, because
That's like an
Annie-
hour later.
Yeah. And then the two friends show up, the guy and the girl, and they go upstairs and they're fucking.
And then
And
he
then-
kills both of them.
Right? So that's 4.
Is that all?
And that's it.
Yeah.
I think, because, I mean, we don't know if he kills anybody in the asylum or not or anything, but in this actual movie, I think it's only 4 people. I will say only.
Right.
You know,
I mean,
and
they
whatever-
still mattered, but yeah.
Whatever he was eating in the house, I doubt that was a person.
No.
But,
It's like a pigeon or something.
oh, speaking of that, I'm kind of jumping all over already, but this was one thing I don't want to forget about it since I brought it up. So they walk in, you've got the doctor and the cop, and they walk into that house, right?
Yeah.
The Myers house. And they don't ever actually show
Whatever's on the floor.
what he was eating or whatever, and he's like, oh, he must have got hungry. And then the other guy's like, no man will do that.
Right.
And then
He's like, that's not a man.
it's not a man.
So-
So what's your theory? What was he eating? Because I have my theory.
Well, he says like maybe it's a skunk or something. I imagine it's probably just like some like rodent animals, like a pile of them or something that he's like tore up and ate or something. I don't know.
Right.
What do you got?
So this was my theory because he says no man would do that.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking he got into some macaroni and cheese, and then he left like a half a bowl there.
Oh,
Because have you ever left a half a bowl of macaroni and cheese?
no,
Have you left any leftover macaroni and cheese?
no, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. So that, I don't know. That was just my first
Maybe.
thought. I was like, maybe that motherfucker left a half a bowl of macaroni and cheese, and that's how you know this guy is fucked up. Like, that would be an indicator to me.
This is a wild animal.
Yeah,
sir.
that's-
He didn't eat all his mac and cheese.
If I'm the cop, I'm like, okay, at first the doctor says he's crazy. Now he doesn't eat the macaroni. That's 2 check marks. So if he hits a third one, then we're calling out the fucking National Guard.
It's true.
So,
Yeah,
so let's
that's
talk.
true.
Let's jump into the scene where they're driving to the hospital, because you've got the nurse and you've got the doctor. Kind of tell us how that goes down, and what do you think about all of the, like, because it was bizarre. Like, nothing played out the way that it should, and even in real life, I think.
So let's set the scene. So the movie starts out, and Michael puts on like a clown mask, and then he kills his older sister, right? And then
that's his first 2 titties you see.
Yep, that's the first 2, and then his parents are like, "Oh, god damn it!" And so they send him off to a like a mental asylum, and then it fast forwards 16 years or whatever,
Right.
and then it's like the rainiest night of the whole world.
No, fast forward 17 years.
Oh, 17 years, yeah, and it's the rainiest night in the whole goddamn world.
Right.
And
they're not even in hurricane country, because they're in,
Right.
like, what, Illinois?
yeah, that's a long hurricane if it was.
It's just got a long reach.
But
It's been taking that blue pill.
yeah, it's like a typhoon. What's a typhoon? Is that like a desert hurricane?
No. A typhoon, I think,
What's
is just,
like one of those? What is like a desert hurricane? What are those fuckers called?
just like a rainstorm.
No. Well, I mean, yeah.
You're talking like where it just downpours and whatever?
Yeah, they're
for
called like a something.
monsoon?
Maybe.
I don't know.
But anyways, they're in like the middle of torrential hell pour of rain, and they're like, "Oh, tonight's a perfect night to drive up there." Why did they drive up there that night?
They were taking him to see the judge, remember?
They were going to go pick him up and then go see
Yeah,
the
they were
judge?
going to go pick him up. That's why they had that station wagon with the fucking cage and stuff in
Yeah,
the back.
we got to cage this bitch.
She's like, why are we taking him to see the judge? And he's like, because it's the fucking law.
Yeah,
You know?
we gotta take old macaroni and cheese over there. I don't know why they showed up at night, but anyways, they show up and like the hinges are all off of the to get in,
And the spooky fuckers are all walking around outside.
And then I would just be like, oh, yeah, we're not going today.
Yeah.
In fact, I actually am moving out of town.
And that kind of is another thing. Obviously, this guy is big.
Mm-hmm.
He's strong, and he's dangerous, right?
Right.
So they send the doctor and one nurse to escort this guy.
Yeah.
Where
I would have sent like Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah,
and
he was
Hulk
in his
Hogan.
prime, or like Mr. T or somebody, right? So I don't know, man. I just think it
didn't make any
they
sense.
set themselves up to fail right there.
Yep.
It was
And
almost
so-
like it was a social experiment. It was like, let's just let this guy go and see
Yeah.
what happens. You know,
Figure it out. But then they get there, and then he's like, "Oh, let me get out of the car and go call on this payphone." First mistake. And then the girl nurse is sitting in the car. Oh, she kills. Does he? No, he doesn't.
no,
kill
she
her.
just he throws her
he
ass
throws
out
her
or
out,
whatever.
yeah. So then he like hops on the car and then like smashes the window in and like beats her up a little and throws her out, and then he just drives off with the
Just
car.
Throws that bitch in drive and fucks
Mhm.
off out of there.
Which is, and you pointed out, like, how the hell does he know how to drive?
Right,
Because he went to the sanitarium when he was like 5.
Yeah, and then they even bring that up because the doctor says that to the other guy running the facility. He's like, "Well, what'd you guys do? Teach him to drive while he was here?"
Right.
It's like, I don't know. When I was 6, maybe I could have done something like that, but
When I was little, I drove, I knocked the car out of drive, or out of park into drive, and drove forward like 10 feet into a cinder block, like retaining wall at a Pizza Hut in Ogden, Utah one time.
that's my boy.
But I didn't escape and go murder 4 people after
Damn.
that.
Well,
My getaway was stopped by that wall.
you should have accidentally shifted her into reverse,
Reverse.
huh?
Then I would have reversed back into like the busiest street in Ogden. The 4 people that died would have been me and my sister, which would have sucked.
Yeah, then we would be talking
Yeah,
right now.
no one would know this story.
So yeah, anybody that has any theories on why that went down that way, feel free to shoot us a message.
Actually, you should leave us that message in a comment on our iTunes in the form of a 4 or 5 star review. Or, I mean, like a 2 star if you really don't like this. But, I mean, 4 or 5 would be nice because it'll help us get discovered.
Yeah, do a 5-star for
Just
sure.
do a 5 star and be like, yeah, I do know the theories of why because it's common knowledge and you guys are just morons. We'll
Yeah.
be like, oh, well, thank you for
Ask John Carpenter.
Yeah.
He knows everything.
that.
And speaking of that,
Feedback.
just real quick, this is our special Halloween episode. We want you guys to know this one's going to be ad-free, and we're going to stay on task the whole time.
Mostly
As
task.
in, we're not going to branch off and do a 90s movie. We're just going to talk about Halloween straight through until we're
till we're done
fucking
with it.
talking about something else, and then we'll spin back around to Halloween.
Yeah, but there's
So-
no commercial breaks.
So on that note, we're going to move all the way back to the very beginning of the movie.
Right.
Okay. So it starts out with the sister and the boyfriend fucking making out on the couch or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got little Michael Myers running around outside.
Mm-hmm.
Then the sister and the boyfriend run upstairs, right?
Right.
And then it shows Michael Myers going inside, getting his mask, I think. It was all of, 30 seconds?
Mm-hmm. And then he comes running down, putting his shirt back on, and I was like, "Is he fucking already done?"
Yeah, so he
That's why Michael Myers stabbed her.
yeah, he's like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so he just put her out of her misery. She's like, it's never going to satify you, so we might as well
Right.
just fucking get you over
We
with, you
should
know?
have killed him, but he left too fast.
He's like, I do everything faster, right?
Right. It's funny.
So anyways, we missed that on the beginning.
Uh-huh.
So anyways, then we move into, obviously Michael Myers breaks out.
Yep.
And then we've got the main female lead character introducing none other than,
Fucking Jamie Lee Curtis.
that's right. What do you think about Jamie Lee Curtis?
She's awesome.
I
I've
love her.
always liked her in all the movies I've seen her in.
What's your favorite Jamie Lee Curtis movie?
Probably just this whole series.
The Halloween series.
Mhm.
She kicks ass.
She's
in it,
good
huh?
in like the Freaky Fridays remakes. She's in those, right?
I can tell you, she did the remake with Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
Remember we talked about that last night? I didn't realize it was Lindsay Lohan, and Carrie's like, motherfucker, it's Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah,
I'm
both
like,
girls were Lindsay Lohan.
that was a different movie.
Oh yeah,
Freaky Friday is where the mom and the daughter accidentally change their brain waves change, and so then Lindsay Lohan wakes up in Jamie Lee Curtis, and Jamie Lee Curtis wakes up inside of Lindsay
Right.
Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan wakes up and just starts fucking eating yogurt
Yeah.
nonstop.
She's like, oh,
She won't stop talking about how regular she is.
Mm,
Is this all your life is, Mom? And Lindsay Lohan's like, yeah, kind of
pretty much.
these days.
And then Jamie Lee Curtis inside of Lindsay Lohan can just walk around and be like, man, I don't have to eat any yogurt. This is perfect.
All right.
But no, the other Lindsay Lohan movie is
It's called Parent Trap.
yes, The Parent Trap, which is a remake also
Yep.
from like the 60s or whatever, which is also a sweet ass movie about summer
Those are
camp.
both
But,
awesome movies.
I can tell you what my favorite Jamie Lee Curtis scene is,
All right.
and it's from an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie,
Cool. Which one?
True Lies, also a 90s movie.
I don't remember. What's the scene?
So basically, Jamie Lee Curtis and Arnold are married, okay? And they're just like got a regular life, and she thinks he's just like a car salesman or an insurance salesman or something, but he's actually a secret agent, right?
Cool.
And so she gets bored, and he uncovers this plot where she's like just wants some excitement in her life, which I think is Bill Paxton is like tricking her, thinking that he's like a secret agent and needs her help, but he's just trying to get laid.
Nice.
So Arnold
Classic
finds
Bill
out,
Paxton.
yeah. And Arnold finds out, but then he actually takes over and catches him, but she doesn't know it's him and sends her on like a wild goose chase. But then there's one scene where he sends her to a hotel and she has to pretend to be a hooker, and she does like a whole strip tease and everything, and then like fucking knocks his ass out with a telephone and runs off.
Oh, nice.
But you don't remember that scene?
No, it's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
Oh, well, you have to check it out now.
Yeah, I do remember liking that movie.
So
I gotta watch it again for sure.
anyways, back to Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
She kind of plays the nerd in this movie and the smart girl, and she's babysitter and everything, right?
Right.
So you got any good babysitter experiences?
No, not really. I didn't have any like really cool babysitter stories. I mean, I got babysit a lot when I was younger for one reason or another, but I don't remember any good stories. Me and my aunt, she's like younger, my step aunt, because she was
Born after you?
Yeah, she was just closer to my age than most aunts are, but we like tried to make some popcorn, and we instead of putting the popcorn in for 3 minutes, we put it in for 33 minutes and then started the kitchen on fire a little bit.
Oh shit.
So
That's
I
awesome.
guess that's like the best story.
I think one of mine that I remember is we had this one babysitter who was about my uncle's age, because my uncle's not that older than me. I think he's maybe 10 years older than me, whatever.
Yeah.
I guess that's still quite a bit, but she was close to his age, and she said that I looked like a little Corey. His name was Corey too. And she was just running around calling me a little Corey, and I got pissed for some reason. I don't remember. And she was yelling at me through the window, teasing me, Corey, Corey. And then I fucking punched the window, and I broke out the window.
Jesus.
So I got in trouble for that.
Myers on her.
Yep. And then, because I was kind of a shit, that time in Utah was fucking disastrous for me.
Yeah.
And then another time we lived in a different house in Utah.
You punched that window out too.
No.
Oh.
We all went outside, and then I decided I was going to lock the fucking door, and I locked our asses outside.
Jesus Christ.
We were out there forever too. I want to say like 2 hours or something before my parents came back. I got in so much trouble every time I got a babysitter. I was like, oh, what are you going to do this time, Christopher? I don't fucking know yet. We'll see,
knows?
I guess.
I might lock us out. I might
break a window. I might fucking
punch a window out. Who knows?
I might climb on the roof and fall off.
Yeah,
who knows?
We don't know. Wild card, bitches.
Anyways.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I don't have any great babysitting stories, unfortunately.
Yeah, I never had sex with a babysitter and then got her murdered afterwards or not, But, I just kept it low-key, little stuff. But
not too crazy.
So, Halloween.
So, yeah, I think maybe, like, my whole favorite scene in the movie is when the, like, detective goes to the hardware store. No, the psychiatrist goes to the hardware store, and then he's like, what's going on? And he's like, oh, somebody fucking stole a mask and like a knife and stuff from the hardware store.
Right.
But then he's like in that little like
the station wagon.
The station wagon. He's just like driving like just around town. He's wearing his fucking mask the whole time.
He's like pulls up right by him. He's like, what's up? What
Yeah.
happened here? Oh fuck, I don't know. Somebody stole some masks.
Damn kids, am I right? Anyways, officer, he's just got that mask on. He's just cruising around town.
Right on the street, right behind
And there's only
him.
one fucking cop apparently in the town. And he's oblivious to everything.
It's true. He was
'Cause-
too worried about his daughter smoking
Right.
weed in the car,
Because like, if you're like a murderer and you just drive around with a mask on in town nowadays, someone will probably call in.
I don't know. Not nowadays. Like if you're not wearing a mask, they'll probably call you a murderer.
Well, I mean like a murder mask, not like a surgical mask. Like,
what if I wear a surgical mask that says murder on it?
I think I'd be more likely to call the cops if it said not a murderer.
Not a murderer. I'm okay. Trust me, guys.
Yeah, I'd be like, I don't believe you at all. Something's fishy here. But yeah, like, could you imagine him stopping at a McDonald's, like, because he doesn't ever talk. That was me ordering some food, and they're just like handing him a hamburger. They're like, here you go, fucking.
You want to Coke with that or diet?
Murder guy, just don't stab us, all right?
That'd be a good commercial, like a pretty cool commercial, I think.
And then someone's just slaying the piano in the background.
You could have him and Jason Voorhees pulling up in the car together, and they're just sitting there like, because neither one of them ever talk.
Neither one of them say anything, huh?
Right. They'd have to have Freddy Krueger along with them just to order for him.
Just like to break up the monotony.
Yeah, because he doesn't shut the fuck up.
Right. He's just always talking.
Right. So speaking of that, those are the big three, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who's scarier out of all of them, you think?
I guess it depends on like a couple things. Like if you're up camping, it's definitely Jason.
True.
And if you're like sleeping, it's definitely Freddy Krueger, right? And then I guess if you're just Jamie Lee Curtis or her friends, then it's definitely Michael.
That's true. I think
Michael really don't give a fuck about anything else. He just wants to kill.
He just wants to fuck with his family.
Yeah, he just wants to kill his sister and then like any of her friends. Basically.
Then what happens after he kills her? Let's say he finishes it. Then what does he do?
It's kind of like Thanos. He just goes to an island and takes off his mask.
Just has a farm and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, for me, I think Michael Myers is the scariest, probably, just because he has the most potential to be real. You know, because Jason's like a demon brought back from the dead.
True.
And Jason Voorhees like attacks your dreams and stuff. Whereas
Freddy,
not Jason. Yeah, Freddy. Whatever. But you know, Michael Myers could just be anybody, just somebody that's just fucking crazy. They just come and stab you.
Yeah, I think he's definitely the most real for me too.
So
definitely the scariest because he's got like that jumpsuit and shit, you know.
Yeah. And let's talk about him just fucking standing around staring.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, he's just the strong talent.
So like this is how the movie goes.
Silent type.
You've got the opening scene where he kills the sister, breaks out. Then you've got like an hour of him standing and
in various
creeping.
places. Mm-hmm.
And somebody will look and there he is, and then they'll look away, and then they'll look and he's gone.
Yep.
Then he'll move to a different spot. They'll look. Oh, fuck, there's the boogeyman. Then they'll look away, then they'll look, and he's gone.
He's gone
and
again.
they'll be like, oh, fuck, there he's driving. Now he's not driving. Straight up 45 minutes.
Parallel parking.
Then he kills Annie.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go into like another 20 minutes of, oh, fuck, is that the boogeyman outside? And then the little kid starts screaming, that's boogeyman. Then they're like, no, it's not. Then like a couple minutes later, oh, fuck, there's the boogeyman. He's carrying Annie.
Right.
She's not okay.
Yeah, she's not doing good.
And then...
just suspense. It just builds the whole time, you know?
Yeah. And so then you've got the ending where he comes and he gets fucking stabbed in the neck, stabbed in the eye.
Yep. Shot like 100 times.
Shot...
well, 6 times.
6 times and falls off a 2-story window.
Yep.
And the motherfucker still gets away.
He got away, yep.
Yep. So I think that's just like the breakdown. It's just a lot of looking and then a little bit of action.
Yeah.
But it worked.
It did.
And I love it.
It worked a lot. The only thing...
wait, is this John Carpenter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I always
he's the person that did the music.
Yeah, I always fuck up John Carpenter and James Cameron for some reason.
Oh, yeah. No, there'd be way more explosions if it was James Cameron.
Yeah.
The only thing that I wish that would have been different, and I joked about it during the movie, is like I wish literally every scene he was just like standing in a corner somewhere, like 100% of the scenes of the movie, just off, like in a corner, just standing. And then like they pull open a sock drawer and there's just like a little bit of his mask, like he's in there. He's just literally everywhere, like comedically, just like placed everywhere. You know?
Just no matter what, like you're looking ahead and you see him 20 feet by the tree, and then you turn around. And then all of a sudden he's 40 feet back there by a car. And then you turn to your left and then he's right there. It's like, oh, fuck.
That would be so funny.
That would be fucking scary.
Someone should remake this movie scene for scene, like the exact same movie, except for just put him like
just
in every
add
scene.
him in every scene, somewhere in every scene.
Just somewhere, even if it's just like a bad screenshot or something.
Yeah.
That would be the perfect
I agree.
sequel re-release.
What if you added this music to like Toy Story or something and replaced like the You've Got a Friend in Me with just like do 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 do. Just like made a happy movie, but then just took out all of the music and put in this creepy ass music.
It'd be crazy.
You think it would work? You think it would make a happy movie sad?
No,
or scary?
Scary,
nice.
For sure.
Fucking hey, I love it.
It'd be pretty wild, but I really like it. So yeah, where do we want to go from here?
I know exactly where to go from here.
All right.
I know we're doing a Halloween episode.
Yep.
And we're doing the Halloween movie Halloween.
Yep.
So it's all about Halloween.
It's true.
So we've got to spend some time and talk about trick-or-treating, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the kids in this movie were weird. They didn't go. I mean, they watched movies.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Carved up a jack-o'-lantern and popped a shitload of popcorn.
But they didn't actually trick or treat.
Right. They actually put on their costumes and stuff, but it never actually showed them out trick-or-treating. So
Right.
I think just for their sake, we need to have a little bit here about trick-or-treating.
actually doing trick or treating. Yeah.
Because what if that would have saved their fucking night, you know? What if old Boogeyman there was looking for him, but then he couldn't find him because they were masked up and out there fucking trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
And
They were dressed up like him. Surprise, bitch. Which one of us is real?
yeah.
And he's thinking to himself, oh, shit, I never considered that.
Well, am I the real Like, he's obviously a mental patient. What if he's like, what if you confuse him?
You could mind fuck him. Like, he just like walks back home to this insane asylum and checks back in.
He's like, am I me or is he me? And then they're
Who's the real Michael?
Then the doctor comes out wearing a Michael Myers outfit, and he's
Yeah.
like, fuck, are you the Michael? Am I the doctor?
It's kind of like on The Shining, you've been Michael all along. And there's pictures in the 1920s.
Then
He's like,
Michael
"What the
starts
fuck?"
talking. He's like, whoa, fuck. Man, I had a
awesome.
really good voice.
Right?
Why didn't I talk all the time?
That's funny. So what was your favorite Halloween costume growing up? What was the best one?
So we were really poor.
Yep.
So I was a pirate a lot because you could just like use your old ratty clothes and just
Yeah.
like cut them up, you know, and then throw a bandana on
Uh-huh.
and then just get an eye patch or whatever. So I was a pirate a lot. I liked that. One year, my parents threw some Hunter Orange on me. So I was a
you were
fucking
a
hunter.
hunter.
Yeah.
I got
And then they were like, what are you hunting for? I'm like, fucking pussy.
Yeah.
And no, I wasn't
They
like that. I was like,
say that at all.
a fucking deer. Not even fucking. I was like, I'm going to get me a big buck.
A 30-point buck.
What about you?
I remember distinctly this one Halloween costume that I got. I went and got my parents bought us all a little Halloween costume, right? Because not a lot of money growing up, but you can try to do the best they can. So they get us a little Halloween costume, and I remember mine, and mine was literally just, it was like it was like a mask, like a Frankenstein mask.
Yes.
And it had like these cool glow in the dark eyes and stuff. And I like, it's so dumb, but I remember like I got it and I just wasn't very happy. I was like, I don't want to be fucking Frankenstein. Like that's not cool enough. And so I remember like the way that I made it cool was I cut eye holes in the back of it and I went with Frankenstein as his head twisted backwards.
Jesus, that's amazing.
Yeah. And that was it.
That's awesome.
And then I loved it.
Well, that's legit.
Yeah.
One time, actually, I remember my mom took sheets, like white sheets, and just like ripped them, like cut them into strips,
Right.
and tied a whole mummy thing around me. Because then,
That's pretty cool.
you know, I mean, I actually kind of like thinking about it now because, like I said, we were poor. But my mom was really creative, and she spent that time like making it cool for us, you know.
Right.
And I think that has more value than like just going to the store and being like, oh, what do you want? Be a Ghostbuster? We'll just buy this fucking costume, you know? Like, she spent some time with me, and I got to put fake blood on,
worked
and,
on
you
it.
know, and that was pretty cool.
I think so. That's my favorite costume, like when I was a child, but definitely my favorite costume as I got older in life. I mean, I copied the costume from the TV show Happy Endings, but my favorite costume of all time was when I was ZZ Top Gun.
Oh, Jesus.
That was so fucking good. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I had a big old long ZZ Top beard, and then I had my grandpa's Vietnam jacket and like some bomber shades on.
That's
And
awesome.
I was ZZ Top Gun.
That's the best.
It was fucking awesome. And I went to a local bar that we have in town called the Ponderosa, and like I can't even stress this enough. Literally, I had to explain my costume to 100% of every single person who
That's
asked what
retarded.
I was because no one got understood.
You think
it.
I would have got it?
Oh yeah, but you watched that show. I don't know
right.
if you saw that episode.
And I listened to ZZ Top.
Yeah.
And I've seen Top Gun.
yeah,
And
it's just a genius costume.
so, like, I have all of that there.
Mhm.
So, let's say we were going to dress up for Halloween this year, or like let's say we could have a big Halloween party, because I love Halloween.
Right.
And I've always wanted to host like a big Halloween party. I always thought it would be fun.
Yeah, me too.
To get a bunch of people together, No kids. I mean, well, kids are fun, but I like adult Halloween parties too. So maybe like a before and after party, you know?
True. Like a
Halloween party with the kids, and then you put them kids to bed, then you have the adult.
Get the adult party, yeah.
But what would you go dressed up as, or what would be your go-to costume nowadays? ZZ Top Gun aside, because that fucking would probably win.
Yeah. ZZ Top Gun, I think that would probably win still, but let's see. Maybe now I would go as, like...
You could mindfuck people and go as Harry Potter instead of Ron.
Yeah. They'd be like, which one is he? I don't know. Like, I kind of like the idea of going as, like Teddy Roosevelt.
That would be awesome.
Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
Yeah, you're all dressed up and everything.
Yeah, and I got like a fucking safari outfit on and everything.
And one of those... I wonder if you could get one of those old school muskets that had like the rounded end on the front. You know, I don't know how to explain this. Like looks like a piece of pipe, but it's flared on the end.
Right.
Like those were a real thing, right?
Yeah.
They weren't just in like the cartoons.
No, they're real. Who's like the best mullet person in the world? I would have to go as that now, right?
Billy Ray Cyrus, probably.
Yeah. Don't tell my heart, my achy breaky heart.
That's awesome. You know why? You should do that because then you would be a singer from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've always wanted, like the last 5 years, maybe longer, I've wanted to go to Halloween as. I want to be Prince dressed up in the suit where he has like the assless, like,
oh yeah, the assless chap thingies.
I don't know if it's chaps or like a jumpsuit or whatever, but his butt cheeks are showing, just to fuck off and be like, yeah, that's my ass hanging out.
Yeah, dude. That'd be awesome. Oh, do you know speaking of what's awesome? Like Miley Cyrus is going through this huge like retro phase right now, and she's been remaking like a whole bunch of old songs. Like she just did this whole live version of Heart of Glass from Blondie, and then she also did Zombie from the Cranberries, and it's fucking amazing.
Is it?
Yeah,
I saw that on there, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, she's like literally like embodying the 80s right now. She's just got like the voice for it and like the attitude and everything.
That's cool because the 80s were fun.
Yeah.
I mean, look at us. We were born in the 80s, and all of these 80s movies and stuff are like past movies for us. We saw them when we were a kid, but they didn't really...
But we're reliving them and everything.
Yeah, they didn't really take grasp until the late 90s. Whereas like in all reality, we should be doing like mostly 90s movies or 2000s, right?
Right.
But the 80s were just fucking fun. And speaking of the 80s, because I moved to Utah like 87, and where I lived was Santaquin, and it's like middle of Utah.
Right.
It gets winter, it gets snow, it gets cold, but then in the summertime it gets hot and everything. But to be honest, compared to where we live now, and we talked about this before because those fuckers told us to get like fucking stakes and rope and put them decorations up, right?
Yep.
I don't ever remember really having a hard time on Halloween down in Santaquin. Like, it was still pretty mild. Like, you could wear your costume.
I literally was just talking about this with
me. You texted me and said, yeah, it's not a shithole.
Yeah.
Because you were in Utah today. Or yesterday.
And I was texting my coworker as well, and I said, you know what? I can distinctly remember every single Halloween, because I lived in Utah until I was 12 or 13. So... like long enough to have multiple Halloweens that I would remember, but I can't remember a single Halloween where it wasn't like snowy and cold. Like I definitely trick-or-treated in just my costume many, many years.
Yeah, because all the movies and everything, they're like the kids are out trick-or-treating, they're having fun, good time.
That's not the case here.
Oh, what are you dressing up
I'm
as
just
for
as
Halloween?
fucking cold.
I'm wearing a fucking snow ski.
Yeah.
I'm that fucking kid from
Christmas Story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what everybody is. Yeah.
I went dressed as
We know.
hypothermia. Yeah, that's exactly how it
But
is
you know,
up
it
here.
is what it is. We can't do anything about it, but...
There was actually one Wyoming Halloween that I remember where we got to actually dress up for Halloween, and it wasn't too cold, but it was a long, long time ago. It was like in 97 or something.
I remember one year, me and Dan Kramer went around, and I don't think that you were with us. You might have been. I don't remember. But we decided to do face paint as Kiss. And both me and Dan dressed up, did our paint as Gene Simmons. Like, we just randomly
You
did
guys
it.
should have fought each other. There could be only one.
And then we actually took pillowcases. I remember this because we filled those fuckers up. Like, they were completely full. Like, after you're lugging around a pillowcase full of candy for miles, it gets heavy.
Yeah.
Like, you have to start digging into that right away and eating that shit just to get energy to get up the fucking hill to your house.
to get
And I
going.
remember that was the one Halloween where it wasn't so bad here. I think we only had jackets on, no fucking
Yeah, that was probably that
coats
same
or anything,
year.
probably.
I was just off fucking doing my own thing. I remember this one time on Halloween, it was me, my sister Chantel, and actually, so it was all 4 of my siblings on like my mom and stepdad's side of the family. So the 4 of us that you would have grown up with. So all 4 of us, this was before we moved to Wyoming. We were walking back from the school that we lived close to. We were like playing basketball down there. And this lady rolled up in a Volkswagen, and she was dressed up like a clown. Yeah.
Oh shit!
She was dressed up like as a scary clown, and she's just like, "Have some candy," and she threw like a whole bunch of candy at us. And
you
then,
guys
like,
ate the candy, right?
No, my brother and sister, Garrick and Ricky, they both bent down to try to get some candy, and me and Chantal were like, "Fucking don't!" Oh, so I guess it was actually just the 3 of us. Ricky would have been an infant at that time, so it was the 3 of us. But so Garrick,
so you had
bent
Ricky
down
in a backpack on your back.
Yep. So Garrick bent down to get some candy, and then we were like, "No, don't touch that. It's probably like fucking poisoned or something." But that fucking
It probably was just candy.
no, dude, she was a fucking tweaker.
Yeah, well, maybe she wasn't wearing a clown outfit. Speaking of Garrick and your siblings, remember that one time you guys lived on not Iowa? What was that fucking circle? Cedar?
Yeah.
Down there where they lived there. That one Halloween where me and you were out fucking trolling around, and then we pulled up. I pulled up to your house. No, I was coming to get you, if I remember this right. I was coming to get you, and then it was cold as fuck outside. It was a traditional Wyoming Halloween, and then you made your brother just like stand outside on the porch, and all he had on was like a pair of shorts and that fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
Like freezing his ass off out there, and you just made him, and he's like 14 or something, and you're just like, no, you fucking stay out there, and I'm like, fuck, man. Fuck, yeah, give me some candy. And then me and you left, and his ass was just standing out there freezing.
That was awesome. That was a really good costume that he had. I don't remember, like it was like a blow-up dinosaur.
Yeah, nowadays you'll see like people out there like snowboarding or like shooting basketball hoops with them with that inflatable Tyrannosaurus Rex. But you guys got it like right at the beginning when it was the first thing, and so just one of my memories of just us and Halloween and your brother and whatever. So
yeah, that was awesome.
Anyways, anything else on trick or treating? Should we get back into this movie a little bit? Since
I think that's a nice long deep dive into trick or treating.
So, moral of the story is your kids need fucking candy.
Yeah,
and they need costumes.
Actually, anybody that has continued listening this far, we'd love to hear your best costumes in your trick or treating experiences. You can shout us out on Instagram or Twitter. So, if we get any, we'd love to read any of the comments we get of your Halloween experiences out on our next episode. So
for sure. And you can email us at that's basically the 80s.
Yeah.
The 80s is an 80S.
80S, yeah.
And if you email us, and even if you email us like an audio clip or whatever, we'll go ahead and try and put that out here and shout you out.
Yep. What if we made a separate podcast called That's Basically the Titties, and it was just all we did was talk about like every boob scene in 80s movies?
Don't we do that anyways?
Yeah, but this could be like a dedicated podcast to it.
But if we just did That's Basically the Titties, we wouldn't have to like just do the 80s. We could do, it would be timeless. So, we could do like every Game of Thrones episode.
Yep.
We could do 90s movies. We could do 80s movies. We could do late night Cinemax.
Yeah. We could do it all. 1930s silent films.
Shit. We could do Betty Page. Talk about her. Anyways, that's we're way off topic here.
Yeah, but if there's enough demand for that, I mean, if the people tell us we want titties, like just do hashtag we want titties, and if that starts trending, then we'll fucking make it.
Yeah, but like that's basically the 80s /titties with 2 D's.
Yeah,
TIDD. We do our titties with double D's.
Not me though. All right, so back to the movie.
So let's kind of jump into like one of my favorite parts.
Okay.
So they find out that Michael is coming after him, right?
Yeah.
She's fucking running. She goes over there to the house across the street. She finds the tombstone in the bed with Annie, and the fucking boyfriend is swinging.
Right.
And then the other girl, who's still naked, by the way. Well, I mean, like her titties are hanging out, but she's dead in the closet. And she's like, oh, fuck. People are dead.
Yep.
And then she runs out into the hallway. And that's another one of those scenes. Do, 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 do. And then Michael's just like right there.
He's
like
just
looking at her. And then she's like,
Yeah, that part was fucking
fuck.
creepy. Yeah, his face kind of appears.
And then doesn't he like throw her ass down the stairs or something? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I mean, we only watched it yesterday. And I
Yep,
heard,
literally just less than 24 hours ago.
So then she goes hauling ass outside. And must have been the same. I probably was hanging out there because I locked her ass outside, you know?
Right.
So she's locked out and she's beating on the door. And then homeboy's up there asleep.
Yeah,
Anyways, he's up there napping because he's all fucking jacked up on popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
And so then he finally comes down and lets her in. But then Michael breaks in.
Right.
And so what does she do? She pulls that knitting needle out and she fucking jugulars that guy. Like fucking gets him in. Like, I don't know.
Takes a bad bitch to fucking crochet someone's neck.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's one. That's awesome. Great job. But you should have continued. Like fucking like
Yeah,
instead of just going crochet, you can go like sewing
crisscross
machine.
applesauce that shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You ever heard
Get
of
it.
the sewing machine?
Yeah.
It's an actual move. Ninjas use it. It's called stab, 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 like a sewing
You just
machine.
keep
In,
doing
out, in.
it.
Yeah.
Because you got to make sure.
Yeah.
But she was just like, no, I'm going to hit him with that one stab and then run
But I
off.
mean, she's a 17-year-old girl that's
she's trying her
just
best.
fucking chilling, you know?
Yeah. She's
I don't know what I would have done when I was 17 and
Yeah.
fucking Michael Myers would have came out. I probably would have just got murdered.
Yeah. Because it is her brother. Like, it's kind of fucked up, right?
Right. And on that note, I actually forgot about this, but they don't actually even bring out like any of the family history of why he went after her or
Mhm.
anything until I think the second movie,
Yeah.
because they never explained it in this one. They just said, "Oh, you got Michael Myers," and then she has a different last name, and she goes and drops the key off, right?
Right.
So we don't even know. So that's another thing that kind of thought about was, how did Michael know who she was when she doesn't even know who she is?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's been in this nut house forever.
True.
you
Maybe
know?
he's just like he's got a lot of time, so he just kind of pays attention to a lot, you know.
He's
He
just
reads
on the
the
internet.
news and stuff. Yeah, just cruising the internet, just browsing, looking at her Facebook status. Oh, she
God.
changed her last name.
She looks a lot like the sister I killed 17 years ago.
She's just like, oh, I gotta. Oh, that's weird. This guy sent me a knife emoji. Block. He's
Anyway,
like,
so-
don't ever block me.
So yeah, I was talking about the motherfucker getting stabbed with the in the neck,
Uh-huh.
right? So he literally takes that needle to the neck.
Yeah,
How does he get up from that?
he's got that strong core. Just sits right up.
That's true. Well, yeah, when he gets, that's another time because she stabs him in the eye also,
Mhm.
and then he's laying down. Because then doesn't she take the knife or something and stab him again or something? I don't remember because he like
Something,
falls out.
yeah.
No, he gets shot.
No, when he gets shot, he falls off the roof.
Oh yeah, fuck.
This is when he like looks into the closet after her, and then
That's
she
right.
stabs him back. I think.
and then he falls.
I think she stabs him in the chest, and he falls down.
That's right, because she stabs him too. That's another thing that I missed. She stabbed him in the chest.
Yep.
And then he's just laying there, and then like you said, he just fucking like
Yep.
sits.
Because if it
straight up.
was me, them legs are coming up, and then I'm rocking up, you know?
Yeah.
And I've got like a pretty, like my core's not the strongest, but it's getting stronger, but I still don't have that fucking solid core like him. Those are prison sit-ups that he did.
Yeah, I mean he is 21.
Yeah, that's the sit-ups that you do in a fucking mental asylum when you don't have anything else to
So
do.
there's no room, and
Yeah.
all you have to do is time to
I guess I'll
fucking
do
push-ups
another
and
sit-up.
sit-ups.
Yeah.
Because me, I'd go to sit up, and then I'd crack
Mhm.
and pop, and then they'd hear,
Yeah.
and then I'd
You
have
can't
to
sneak
roll
around
around
like
my
that.
side, and then I'd have to get up, and I'd have to stretch
Yeah.
again, you know, and then
Uh-huh.
everything like from my spine down to my fucking toes are cracking.
Right. Yeah, I was down at my dad's house just the other day, and I stood up to like go grab a drink of water, and then there was like a snap, and my stepmom, she's like, "What was that?" And I was like, "That was my hip. Thanks." All right.
Yeah, I think
I've
our
had-
serial murderer days are
Yeah,
over.
I've
huh?
had juvenile arthritis since I was 12 years old, and I'm 36. So my hips, you know, like
Look,
my
I
hips
just,
don't lie because they're just like snap, snap, snap.
I just crack and pop,
Yeah, dude.
you know. So
But I mean, fuck, man. Michael Myers be killing people.
what else you got? Any
Oh,
other-
this is what I got. If I was Michael Myers, like you could just like punch me in the face and I'd be like, I'm done. I ain't even coming back after you because it hurts too goddamn bad. But that's a bad bitch to get stabbed and knifed and needled and shot and you still come after
and
him.
falls off the
Mhm.
and you know what else he
He's
did?
dedicated.
I was kind of thinking about this. I was actually I wasn't even able to take notes yet because my arm is still fucked up. So Carrie took some
Mhm.
notes for me, but she did write down one thing that I remember now.
What?
Do you remember Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
Do you remember when they were running around in sheets?
Oh, yeah. That part was great, huh?
What?
When he kills the fucking nerdy guy with the glasses and then he puts the sheet on.
Yeah, he puts on his fucking, as you said, the Hubble telescope glasses.
Yeah, right.
So
The guy had them thick glasses.
So what do you think John Carpenter was thinking? Like, he's making this whole suspense, scary, fucking psycho, crazy movie, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, let's just put a little comedy in here. It's like, just motherfucking throw the sheet over his... Like, where... Is that, like, the child in Michael Myers still, or what the fuck was that scene?
I don't know. I think maybe he was just like that has to be that he's got some form of like humor about him, you know? Like he's not just pure, like he's a pure like murder beast hound guy.
He's evil, but sometimes he's still
evil,
funny.
but he's just like fucked up evil. He's like, you know, it'd be fucked up if I put this sheet on my head and then I stabbed her. Like that'd be fucked up, right? You know, but he's like just kind of thinking to himself because he's never say anything. But I just love that because he's like sitting in the... Like, he's in the kitchen with the kitchen shears, and he's, like, cutting eyes out of the sheets while he's listening to that song, like... And that's...
Like, he's cutting it to the beat of the music. Yeah.
Yeah, that's some good shit. But then he, like, puts it on, and, yeah, he's like, this is gonna be fucked up, but I love it. You know, but that kind of shows that he's got, like, some humanity. But on the same side, like I say, he's got some humanity. But if I was, like, a murder guy... and I was in the movie, and every time that song played, like, I couldn't help but start fucking dancing. You'd see me in the cornfield.
I'd start looking
like,
around.
Yeah, because I'd start dancing with my knife because that song fucking slaps. There's no way you could stop, you know?
Ooh, have you ever fucked to that song?
Not yet.
Not yet, me either.
I'm fixing to... I mean, Halloween's not over yet, you know?
That's right.
That's basically the 80s crowd.
Wow, that's fucked up. Anyways,
so
speaking of that, we've got one more point to hit.
One more?
Yeah.
That's all we got.
Well, at least one more, because we talked about Hubble's telescope guy and his girlfriend. They got murdered. And one thing that we talked about was because she's like, go get me or she's like, hey man, you want a beer? And he's like, yeah, I want a beer. And she's like, well, fucking go get yourself one and me one.
Yeah, she next leveled him.
And then she lights up a cigarette. And then we kind of mentioned that while we were watching the movie. It's like, man, we should really fucking talk about smoking after sex.
Yeah, like as soon as you get done having sex, then you smoke a cigarette. I've never done that before.
Neither have I. And it kind of, actually, it reminded me of another Michael Myers movie. Austin Powers.
Yep. That's what I thought you were going to say.
So we've got Mike Myers, who's the murderer, and then we've got Michael Myers, who, I don't know if they're the same guy. Maybe he has, like, dual identities, you know? He's like, I'm going to fucking murder you, then I'm going to go be Wayne.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to murder you, then I'm going to go be Austin Powers. And then it's like, oh, do you smoke after sex? I don't know. I've never tried.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think that I've never, like, I think if, I would want to be like that dude, like the fucking psychiatrist dude. No, the cop. The cop had the fucking
that big old pipe.
Right? Like, what if you just like puffed on one of them afterwards? You know,
Right.
You brought out this like pipe, and you're like,
and it's like one of those big pipes from like Inglourious Bastards.
yeah,
You know, because he at the beginning of that movie, he goes in there. The Nazi goes into like the farmhouse, and that guy pulls out his little corncob pipe, and then he's like, "Oh, should we smoke?" And then the Nazi guy pulls out his pipe, and it's like this fucking. It's like a gallon fucking pipe, you know? What if you had to pull out one of those and then she's like, oh, at least something's big around here.
right. You're like, I don't even hear that, ma'am.
Whatever. I like that and I like this. And you just,
Yep.
Yeah.
So maybe I should try that too, you know, just like pull out the old pipe after. But
I'm kind of thinking we should get a pipe.
we kind of like should. Like pipes are, I distinctly remember my grandpa had a motherfucking corncob pipe and it was balla ass.
I want a pipe now. I mean, I've smoked cigars and I could,
Yeah.
again, the problem I have is they really fuck with my allergies, but
we were talking about getting a reverse osmosis room air filter. Like
and just like fucking suck that badass air out of here.
get that air out and then like puffing on cigars in here.
I like it.
I think that would make the podcast way better because we'd kind of get that deep smoky sound to our voices. It'd sound kind of like our...
and I would be like this all the time.
Well, it wouldn't sound that bad, but I would kind of sound like our... Was it Beetlejuice when I was super hungover?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was that one. Because I got kind of that throaty voice. I was like listening, and I got hard listening to myself. It was fucked up. I was like, God damn, he is deep.
Yeah.
He's got that deep voice, and I was like, oh wait, that's me.
Yeah, he was ugly as fuck too, just in case you were wondering. Yeah. He smelled like shit too.
No.
All right, I made that all up.
But I mean, I think kind of like a smoky ass, like, you know, podcast room would kind of like set the ambiance, you know?
So, yeah, I agree. What else you got for this fucking Halloween episode?
I mean, if you hear that fucking song, look behind you because Mike might be coming.
And then when you look behind you, he'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
Then he won't. Then you'll look somewhere else and he'll be there.
Yeah, just like fucking Where's Waldo of murder, guys.
Wow. He actually, what if Waldo was a murderer? Like, could you imagine getting murdered by that fucker? Like, he's running up in that Christmas ass hat and just like, and just like fucking straight up kills you. Wow, that would be the worst.
Be bummed out. Like, this fucking guy got me?
Yeah, pissed.
Yeah.
I would just be sitting there like trying to evaluate my life. Like, what point in my life led me
because that guy intentionally put that sweater on and that hat, and then he killed me.
And he was wearing those glasses, and then I was out here, and it wasn't fucking Michael Myers, and it wasn't any of these guys. It was Waldo. Wow.
And he's like pretty easy to spot when you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, once you find him, yeah.
Hey, aren't you that guy that... oh, fuck, you stabbed me? He's like, I've always been a fucking stabber. You never paid attention in the books, though. All right, well, the secret will die with me. Because you fucking stabbed me, man.
Well...
So, yeah, that is basically the 70s.
Yeah. Thank you for listening, guys.
Yeah.
And remember, check out our Patreon, our Instagram, our Twitter. And as always, share and leave us some reviews because we love you guys and we hope that you can send our love on to your friends and family that don't take offense to swearing and all the goofy shit we talk about all the time.
Yeah, man. Let's just get this motherfucker to like 1 million listens.
You know, we're almost at 2,000.
We're going to get there this week.
That's right. We're going to get to 200,000. You know what? If we get to like a big following, then our hardcore listeners that are going right now, we're going to fucking buy you guys dinner. When we start making money off of this, we're taking you guys to...
Red Lobster.
Oh, I was going to say the dollar menu at fucking shit McDonald's drive-thru. But, you know, they'll be able to pick any one item off of it.
Yeah, easily.
Anyways, you know what that is?
That's basically the 80s.